Yo, welcome back tribe, welcome back to another video. So I just wanted to, since I've been playing a lot of reload recently, I just wanted to make the tips on how to play better in reload, or like some reload tips. And I just wanted to, first of all, I mean, this is not really a tip, but it's just something that works pretty well. So it's like, it's always about pre-firing. That's what I found that like happens the most in reload. So like, for example, compared to like normal games in reload, there's like constant fighting, right? There's constant people boxed up and stuff. So the first thing is like when you're approaching someone in a box, right? Like I always bait the edit. So like I always come like with my pickaxe, and then I do this thing where like you see like I'm always switching. I'll swing the pickaxe out, and it'll like as soon as you get that sound, the audio sound, like from their point of view, they're sitting here, they hear the pickaxe, they edit, you know. And so basically what I'm doing is two things. As soon as they edit, I'm either pre-firing or I keep the pickaxe out. Like let's say they've done this, right? So I'm like, you know, instantly going in like that to take it back. So that's like the main tip that always works. Like I'm always like, say I'm approaching someone's box, I'm always swinging and then coming back, swinging and coming back. And I've seen a lot of pros and high level players do this, so this isn't just me saying it, it's just like a pretty good tip. Like when you approach someone's box, just always make sure you have like good keybuys so that you can switch fast, you know. And you can always sort of hit them, and then if you hit them, if they edit and you get a pre-fire, it's basically a free win, because as long as you've got more, like you've got the health advantage, it's pretty much you just hard W key. So that's the first thing. The second thing I want to talk about was like two set plays. So like it's happened to me quite a few times, right? Let's say someone's boxed up here, yeah, and let's say now you've done damage to them. So like let's just say 100 damage, right? So you've done 100 damage to your opponent. He boxes up. Like what I like to do is this: like I pickaxe once, bring back, pickaxe twice, and then here what I do is like a twofold thing, right? I'll pickaxe once, I'll do it slowly here. So let's say the wall's 1 HP. I pickaxe once, and I'll either do two things, right? I'll put a ramp and then take the wall back, and then, you know, kill them like that. And then if I don't do that, I'll do this. So the cone. And so there's two different things that happen, right? So let me explain. So let's say the first scenario, I do this, right? When your opponent is like this, yeah, 90% of the time, not always, like sometimes they'll edit down, but 90% of the time they'll edit to the sides, right? Or they'll do this and make a box here, right? So if that's the case, so let's say when you put a ramp, they always edit to the sides, right? Like 99% chance. So if your opponent's smart, like he's a good player, he'll edit to that side, and then it's kind of harder for you to get there. But what I do is like once I've done all this, so once I've placed the ramp, once I've done this, I don't even try and do anything here because it takes too much time. I'll just do this and get in, and then normally they do this and you basically get a free shot. And I'll try and roll the clip because I've done this a few times in game. A lot of the times I've done it, I haven't recorded it, but I'll try and add a clip here to show an example. Now the second thing is, like I said, there was two scenarios, right? The first one is like what I just showed you, and the second one is like this, yeah. So what happens here? Second scenario, there's two things that happen. If your opponent was standing in the middle of the floor, then he's like this, and then he can only edit down, but this is unlikely. It's unlikely that he'll break the cone. He'll normally just edit down. Some players might break the cone, but then if you have the wall, or the wall's low, by the time they've done that, you can either like just pre-fire them, you know. But let's say you've done this, yeah. You've gone for the cone. Instantly, the thing I do next is like drop underneath them, you know, and full box. Wait for them to edit. They'll usually do a single tile edit or like double tile edit, and then you basically just get a free shot. So yeah, so once again, doing that fast would be like something like, you know, I mean it's pretty straightforward, but it's just like, let's say you're taking it from this angle, you've approached the wall with like a bit of cover, up, 1 HP, up, you know, and then like that sort of stuff. It sounds so stupid, but you'd be surprised how many people don't do that. You have to like instantly drop down, make the box, wait. You can literally even just wait for them. I'd recommend not aiming in case they go from that side, then it's harder to move. So just like, you know, don't ADS, but like whatever they do, you basically get a free shot, you're covered, and then you finish with the AR. And then of course, like I said, if they don't get if they weren't standing in the middle of the box, yeah, and you've coned them like this, let's say they were standing back, yeah, that's the main reason, or forwards or to the sides, right, but anywhere away from the middle, then what happens is like they'll be like this, right? Oh sheesh. Alright, hold on. It should be phased, whatever, I can't do it, but normally they'll be like either phased or like this, and then here it's a bit more difficult because they might go up, so that one's a bit more difficult to counter. But most of the time, the point I'm trying to make is if you place a cone, they'll edit to the side, they'll edit down if they've been coned, but if they haven't been coned, they'll edit anywhere else. But if it's a ramp, it's always to the sides. The second thing I want to say is like whenever you hear a the third thing I want to say is whenever you hear like a I've got to make it more precise. When you're playing anything other than solo, so duos or squads, whenever you hear someone being rebooted, it's basically a free kill. So always look up where they've been rebooted because they'll have no shields, and most of the times you'll absolutely laser them. So it's like a free kill. But if you're playing solos, what normally happens is that the way you spawn is normally you spawn away from players, and in that case, you know, it's not really worth it as much, and you might get, if you stand here and spray someone in solos, then someone else might be spraying you, so it's like you at least want to be covered. But in anything other than solos, so duos or squads, whenever you hear someone gliding or being rebooted, it's basically a free kill, so just never forget that. And then the other thing I want to say is basically what happens defensively, because I've just been talking about offensive, right? But a lot of the times when you get when you're boxed up healing, right, let's say you've been hit, your opponents, they basically come to your wall and they'll like usually pickaxe it, right? So like they'll come pickaxe it, and basically the best thing that I found is it's exactly the same way as when you're attacking. It's basically pre-firing, but you're probably thinking, what do you mean? Well, it's like pre-firing with like peace. So like let's say they're pickaxing, they get your wall, right, and they do this edit. You basically don't even want to try and hold it, because if you have a second box, you don't need to worry about them taking that wall. If you're in a single box, then obviously make a second box, right? But if you're like this, right, they can't piece anything because you have every piece. But if they make this edit, just let them take one wall so that they focus on that. Pre-fire them when they take it, and if you hit the shot, go for a piece instantly. I'd always recommend this: shoot and cone. Because once you have the cone, I'll try and put a clip of me doing it in game, but once you have the cone, they're basically like, a lot of the times what they do is like they'll do like an edit, right, jump, and then they'll be stuck on this, like they can't get out. And then if you've hit them for like, let's say, I don't know, 70 damage, and you've placed a cone after, yeah, like you just basically get a free kill. I think that's about it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to support the channel and let me know what you thought of the video, if there's anything else you want me to cover. And yeah guys, make sure to support the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, peace out.